It's kind of a tough question to ask. And I have a couple assumptions, but please correct me if I'm wrong. It is my understanding that the board did adopt the visual and performing arts standards in the past year. Am I correct in that assumption? Okay. Unlike PE, I also assume that music has no such stipulation of minutes under the ed code, at least not as far as I've ever been told. Okay. So, I want to make sure I'm on the right page. So this is kind of a hard question to ask, but if we lose elementary music, I guess my question is what happens? Does it disappear? Right now, for those of you who don't know, music does have its own section on the report card. It is graded based on the content standards for music education for the state of California. We have them just like every other subject, but we're not mandated. So the district did choose to adopt those standards last year. So if we disappear as a specialist and as a pull-out program, does the music section also disappear off the report card? Because, again, many of our colleagues, music is kind of a little part of their multiple subject credential, but it gets nowhere near the emphasis of any of the other subject areas. They were, I've heard as little as 4 to 6 weeks from some of my colleagues. So I guess, in all honesty, what happens to it? Where does it go?
What happens to music?
One of the things that's interesting about the ed code is that it doesn't have a comprehensive set of requirements for each subject area in terms of instructional minutes. It is true that the state has adopted content area standards and provided those to school districts, and our school district has reviewed all of the state content standards and has implemented them as part of our local curriculum. So there is an expectation that we will be covering the content standards in each of those areas. And if we do not have elementary music specialists to assist the classroom teacher, the burden really does fall on the classroom teacher. I think it is also very reasonable to suggest that teachers that do not have special training in music are going to struggle with providing that instruction in ways that a teacher who's credentialed to teach music would be much more inclined to be able to be successful in. In terms of the report card, that's something that our district decided to do. We are not required by the state to have the things that we have listed on the report card there for music. That certainly would be something we could look at with groups of teachers to see what makes sense. I know, though, that not all school districts in the state of California have music specialists at the elementary level. And I know that in the past, classroom teachers have been responsible for teaching it. I think that our district has been very fortunate to have outstanding musical performances and skill building starting in elementary school and going all the way through our system. It's one of the things that I think makes Pleasanton Unified a great place for kids. It would be a loss to